Let's talk about Miguel and Lindy. We see them going kayaking, having a good time, spending time with each other. They're feeling each other. She's expecting that the feelings will increase more, the more she gets to know him. She talks to him about wanting to share everything with him and get closer to him. But she said the conversation they had was, but I feel like when it comes to you, you feel like love will come when it comes and how it flows, whatever. And she says she feels pressured to kind of fit in his boxes, and that's not very comfortable for her.
And he said, like a most traditional man would say, I don't want you to fit in my boxes. I want you to be you. Be you and do you, and you don't have to enjoy you. Find who you are. And I don't think she understood that though. She didn't understand him saying, look, I don't want you to check my boxes. You're putting that pressure on yourself. You're putting that issue on you. I don't need you to be. I need you to be true to who you are. And I think she is a true people pleaser.
Yeah, but her thing is too that they get into is this just an 8-week thing for you? Like, I came into this fully expecting to, for this to be a lifetime thing, and you're talking about it's just an 8-week thing, and I don't know how to get comfortable. I feel like if you can't decide or you got me in limbo, then I'm protecting myself. I'm going to have my walls up. I'm going to keep my guard up, and I want to let it down, but I'm like, do I let it down considering he might be gone at the end of the 8 weeks,
Yeah.
She said, I'm just looking for a life partner, and I'm just, when you say that, I'm not getting that from you.
Miguel didn't help his cause, did he? By him saying, I'm trying to wait till the 8 weeks, see what happens. Miguel reverted back to, Miguel thinks this is like, he's a doctor, right? He's a doctor, and I think he thinks this experiment is one of his experiments where you test things out and see what sticks and see if this will work and that'll work and see if this happened and that'll happen. And I think that's when Miguel is treating this like a real experiment, not knowing that you have a real person in front of you that has feelings, a person that has emotions, a person that's going to be invested in this. This is not some rat in a laboratory. You know what I'm saying? This is a real person. Even though, yes, it is an experiment, you can't treat it as such. You can't be so analytical and all this into this experiment that you're dealing with somebody who's trying to love you and you're trying to, I don't know, get the draws, dog.
It seemed that way.
And mind you, this conversation is after, I gotta go there because I think that adds to it. This conversation is after the fact that they said they had consummated their marriage. I want to stay there because I think that plays a role because his tone, to me, I don't know about anybody else, y'all let me know in the comments, it seemed like his tone has changed in a relationship after he got the draws. He's not as loving as he has been or understanding that he has been, that he's more of, I won't say he's a prick now, but he's kind of brass, if I want to say that, that he's kind of more brass now since he actually slept with the lady, Lindy. So now he's like, oh, this is an experiment, I don't know if we can be for 8 weeks, I'm just going to, what you mean, dog? I mean, I know it's an experiment, but you're going to have to put yourself into it. Again, I think it's back to, he thinks it's an experiment, and he's going to self-sabotage.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so as they're talking, Stasha's like, well, speaking of which, I want to talk to you. I'm kind of confused because you went from wanting to get a bond before you had sex to now y'all had sex. Like, where did that come from?
Hey, I take my hat off to Stasha and Alexis in this episode because they were doing what sisters do. They were looking out for their little sister and Lindy per se. They were looking out for her, making sure her best interest. And you can see how close the women are and that they're trying to protect each other and take care of each other. And I like this from Stasha. And when we get to, and what Alexis did as well. So I like them being protective. But you got to be able to keep that boundary. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be able to cross over into a realm that you're not supposed to cross over into.
And so, Lindy was like, I did feel that way, but I want you to know we did get to a place where we're more comfortable, and the sex wasn't forced at all, you know. And Stasha was like, I was concerned. I didn't want you to be pressured too soon, because I've been in a place where I felt like I had to have sex with somebody to basically prove my love and prove where I was with them. And she was like, I just did not want you to be in that space.
You don't have to say a word. It's written all over her face.
Yeah, but Lindy says, you know, I grew up in a space, and she talked about this before, of course, with the Seventh-day Adventist. I grew up in a place where there was so much shame and judgment associated with sex. Like, I don't want to be in that space again. So I want you to know that I agreed it was consensual. You know, I went with it. It wasn't forced, okay? This is not what that is.
But he manipulated. It wasn't forced, but he set the atmosphere and made it in her mind with subliminal stuff. So we'll get past that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So after that, the couples go out to dinner again on the last night, and Lindy basically, while they're talking, she puts Miguel on blast about the 8-week thing. Yes. And Nate's like, hey, wait, hold on. I think this is a sit-down conversation. We just sit down and talk. Because her thing is like, again, she said, if it's just the 8-week thing for him, I don't know what to do. I don't feel like you should do that. You know, would it be bad to feel like, you know, he's falling in love with the other person and they're not so much falling in love with you? Like, I don't want to be in that predicament. And they talk about that, and, you know, they understand where Lindy is coming from. Yeah. But at the same time, you know, we understand where Miguel's coming from. It's like, I can't be completely in. It's going to take these 8 weeks to figure out what's what. And even at the end of 8 weeks, I don't know. I still don't know. So. And
at the end of 8 weeks, I mean, to me, again, I said it earlier in the video, he changed once he got the goodies. Right? Now he doesn't have to work as hard. Now it could be in 8 weeks or maybe after 8 weeks. He has to be able to embrace her culture, her work ethic. He's gonna have, when they get back to San Diego, he's gonna have to really embrace her and understand what's going on. Mm-hmm. Because if he doesn't embrace her and make sure she could be a person that falls into depression, have anxiety issues, and that she has a confidence issue about herself because she is a people pleaser. She wants her husband to please her. So, yeah, and plus she's out of control. Mm-hmm. He's controlling everything here. He's moving the pieces to get what he wants from her. Mm-hmm. Because Stasha said it too, like, but a few minutes ago you said something else, or the conversation changed when he's in charge. So
Stasha kind of tries to go in. They had continue that conversation about the 8 weeks. And Lindy says, well, I understand because I kind of gave myself an out, you know, with the 8 weeks if it doesn't work out or whatever. And Alexa says, you're saying that now, but earlier you said you had a problem with it. Now you're saying you don't have a problem with it.
And you doing what Miguel tell you to do, and this is how you feeling.
Right.
You flipping, and she's flipping. It's not like she flipped the next day. She's flipping in the midst of the same day, in the midst of in the conversation, in the midst of the I don't want to say lecture, but in the midst of the meeting of minds. Mm-hmm. And Lindy's like, no, it's just that, you know, I'm gonna meet Miguel where he's at, and I understand where he's coming from and whatever. And Justin says, you know, I feel like she's just trying to accommodate, and agreeing based on what he says. Anything for her man. Mm-hmm. Look at her track record, or what we heard about her. What she said is anything for her man. Mm-hmm. She'll do anything for her man.
And just as Stasha's about to sick him, she about to go in on Miguel about the whole thing. The mariachi band comes in. Hence the name of the episode, Saved by the Mariachis. You know, she was about to go in, but while the band comes, and since Stasha stopped, you know, Lindy's like, don't worry about it. I got you. No worries. We're going to go at our own pace. And she even tells him that later when they get in the room together. We're going to do our own thing. You know, we're going to do what works best for us. I'm not worried about that. Let's just focus on us. You know, we're still trying to understand each other. It's about us and not the other couples. And I'm just eager to find out how we work together, whatever. And
she's doing a lot of encouraging. Mm-hmm. And he didn't say a word. He didn't say nothing. Because I don't think Miguel wants to come after the people at that table. Mm-mm. He wants to keep it status quo because they came for his neck. Because remember, by the time they was able to go, people have already gotten other folks. And he said, I think he told Sasha, you coming after me?
Mm-hmm.
You coming after me? And she was like, yeah, why not?
Yeah, she was coming for that neck.
She coming for that neck. You had something to say about everybody else, but I'm coming for you. So
she was coming for that neck.